Hello and welcome to another episode of A Moment of Honor with the Sanctuarian. Today I have two lovely ladies here that I'm so excited to have joining me today. So I have Lynn and Lori. They are the co-founders of the Savvy Elephant. Welcome, ladies. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having us.
It's great to
So
be here.
I'm so excited for you to be able to share with our audience a little bit about the Savvy Elephant and kind of what inspired the two of you to come together, unite, and create this company. If you want to share just a little bit of that story with us.
Absolutely. So it was, lots of conversations. We were both really tired of all the negative energy we were feeling in the world and just thought, there's got to be positive things happening out there, but we weren't hearing about any of those. And so it just was a conversation of, well, how can we bring some positiveness out there? And so it was really, a conversation of what's meaningful, what would be meaningful to the world to bring out there. And we were also having a lot of discussions, both being designers, that it's so hard to find products that you feel good about. Not that they're just sustainable products, but they're socially responsible products, that these people care about their employees. They care about their suppliers' employees. So it's the entire chain. And how could we bring products or information to people to bring this to light? So they had options to choose really great products that are supporting people and their health. And they'd feel good about giving these things, not only owning them themselves, but giving them to someone else.
Yeah, I think that's great. And can you go a little bit more into depth for those who may not know what it is to live sustainable or to have sustainable products in their home?
Sure. I think it means different things for different people, right? So we're trying to keep it broad and recognize that and not force people down a specific path. So sustainability has a broad range of definitions. We look at the sourcing of our materials that the products are made. Are they using renewable woods? Are they using healthy stains? Are they giving back to the communities that they're working in? We have a variety of collections on the website that speak to specific social values that people are interested in, whether it's reducing plastic use, reforestation, women-owned companies that are going one step beyond and really giving back in different ways. Those are just a few of them. So it's there's opportunities to learn and find products that that the founders of those companies are passionate about, and then that you're passionate about as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's one of the things that really kind of drew me to the site when I was looking through and seeing when we really started to work together, is that you really do highlight these different values. So those who do enjoy shopping with women-owned businesses or do want to focus in on those eco-friendly brands, you're able to showcase that. And it's not just, yes, you sell home decor, wellness products, but you're also teaching people what it really means and what the importance of it is. And I think that's something, especially now, that's really valuable with everything that's going on in the world. Where no one saw a global pandemic coming. And now we're 2 years in, and who thought we were going to be here? So really starting to kind of have more of that conscious mind about what do we want our future to look like? And I think that's something that you guys touch on really well on the site. Now, tell me a little bit of the process that goes into when you are looking for these brands. what would you say your top 4 key things that you're looking for when you're looking at brands to showcase on the website?
Well, I would say, one of the main key elements that we're looking for is if they happen to be a B Corp, a B corporation, they have certain standards they have to meet. And they don't just have to meet a certain level, but that level continues to raise up as the years go by. So in order for them to stay B Corps, they need to raise their game and continue to do more and more, whether it's, again, social, how they create their products, how they market their products, how they ship their products. All of these are taken into consideration. So it's really every aspect of the business they look at to become a B Corp. So that's our number one. If we can find B corporations that are producing products, they're our number one go-to. But if they maybe haven't met that level yet, we're looking for how are they creating the product? How are they shipping the product? It's raw materials. Both, are they using recycled product? Are they upcycling the product? Are they using what they call, waste byproduct and taking that product and making a new product out of it rather than it going into a landfill? And so one of our great Halana products, is a great B Corp that upcycles cotton, And so we look for these types of companies. They're treating their employees well. They might be trying to raise a social economic group of people up and giving them, wages they can actually live with. And so those are super important to us. So again, we're trying to always find certain elements that are there, but they may vary. It may be handcrafted. It may be a custom weave that's been done for, centuries, and they're passing that on from generation to generation, and they don't want to lose that, And so we try and make sure that people understand the value of that. So it can be varied through the product, but they always have to meet at least 2 or 3 pieces of the criteria. We really want to make sure that we're vetting these companies, because there's a lot of companies out there who are greenwashing, and they're saying, "Oh yeah, we're very green. We recycle in the office." Well, it needs to go much broader than that. It needs to go much farther beyond. So we're trying to ask the deeper questions, and if we just see basic information, we try and ask deeper questions and say, well, what does that mean? And try and get more information from them.
And I think that's great too, because I think especially when people are looking to really kind of live eco-friendly, they might not know where to start. And the fact that you are already going through that vetting process and making sure that they're meeting all of these qualities. And I really like that you're bringing kind of that humanity piece into it as well, because not only are they providing great products, but they're also treating the people that work with them well. And they're getting a fair wage. They're getting the work life that everybody should have. And I think that's really important, and that I think a lot of businesses might miss the mark on. And I like that you're really making that a real focus and a mission while looking for these sustainable products. And one of the things I like is that you offer the fair trade products. You have the handcrafted, you have USA made, which is very hard to find nowadays, and the handcrafted. So I think what's nice is you're giving everybody kind of that 2 steps forward already when they're looking for those products. So it's alleviating that time that they would be searching for that. So you're giving them time back as well. So I think that's a great thing. So with the pandemic, as we mentioned before, have you seen, since you both stated that you are interior designers, have you seen kind of a change in the way that you do work and also starting this company during a pandemic?
Sure. I think for our clients and for people in general, and ourselves included, we're in our homes more. We're looking for the flexible space. So we have written pieces about noise pollution, light pollution, and provided tips for people on how to alleviate some of those issues in their home or in their workplace. And then we've started sourcing some products that will also help with that. We saw, air quality being an issue, and being asked about it more often. And so, we've written about how indoor plants can help with air quality, and we provide options for purchasing indoor plants on our site. Things like that. We've been trying to address as the questions come up. We try to provide information and products to go along with it.
And I really enjoy the informational pieces there, because it's one thing, like I said earlier, to purchase the product, but to know the meaning behind it, to know what's going into it, that backstory. And the great thing is not only are you offering plants, but you offer beautiful planters that they can go in. So not only do you have something that's going to help the environment, but you're also going to be able to stage it the way you want to in your home, and you're not going to lose that style aspect or that character that you want in a room. And I think one of the things that I've heard, through the communities that I speak with too as an organizer, and is how do I stage these products? So is there one or two tips that you would give our audience on kind of how to stage various items that you offer on the site?
I think a lot of times that the best thing that I can tell people is play. Even as designers, we may have in our mind how we want to set certain things up. Don't be afraid to play with it. You kind of have to change it, keep moving it, just shift it around. Pretty soon you'll just get a set that feels good to you. Something about it feels right. And so that would be my biggest suggestion. Yeah. Take, a dozen items and start working them around, and just eliminate some, put some back in. It's really a sense of play. And pretty soon, if there's just several items that kind of come together and they speak to you, and it just works. So that would be one thing that I would say. Don't be afraid to play. Don't be afraid to shift it around. Let it sit for a day, come back into the room, look at it again, and shift it around. I do that all the time. I never get it just right the first time. So don't be intimidated by it, I think is the second thing. Just really enjoy the process. And it is a process. So just, enjoy the play. And if it takes you a week to get it just right, that's okay.
And it doesn't have to be forever, right? You like it over here for a couple of months, and then you want to switch it up and put it someplace else, or you're using a basket as a planter for a while, and then all of a sudden you think, oh, I think I'll start using that over here to hold my magazines, and now I'm going to do something else as a planter, right? There's find different uses for things. It keeps it fresh and fun.
And I like that you do have that broad range of products that you offer that do have multiple functions. And like you're both saying, you just play with it and see how you want to use it. Because really, it ultimately is going to be what's going to function best for you and have that energy that you want in that space. That's how you're going to use the item. And one of the things that I really like that you do is you do a weekly newsletter that you send out that really is informational. It gives them tips and resources that they need to know about these different values that you showcase on your website, as well as just being eco-friendly. What does it mean to be that? Shopping sustainable, all of that. Now, if someone wants to subscribe to your newsletter, how would they go about doing that?
Absolutely. So they can go to the homepage, thesavvyelephant.com, and there's several places there that they can subscribe. It's a first name and email address, and then they'll start receiving the weekly newsletter.
Awesome. And I hear you might have a little something special for those who might subscribe today.
Absolutely. Again, we want to celebrate people who are taking the time to get to know us. And so at the end of today, we're going to look to see the subscribers who subscribe to the newsletter from today's live chat. And we're going to pick one. And that lucky winner is going to get a half-hour virtual design consultation with either myself or Lori to discuss whatever you want to discuss.
That sounds amazing to me. I mean, you have two wonderful experts here that have been in business. They know what they're talking about. So make sure you go subscribe to that newsletter. Not only are you getting resources, you're getting information and getting a design consultation. Sounds wonderful. So one of the other things I want to really talk about is how can they connect with you? How can they learn more about you? Where can they get this information? So if you want to tell us a little bit of how really they can connect with you besides the website, which I have put in the chat. So make sure you check that out. Subscribe to that newsletter. It's in there.
Well, of course, we are on Facebook, we are on Instagram, and we are also on Pinterest. So you can connect with us through there. There's always a contact form also on our website. So if you have, something in particular that you have a question on, one of the products that are on our site, or even a question about one of the blogs that have been written, we're just really trying to bring a lot of information and options to people. And we're not trying to shame anybody. Our call is to action. Do one little thing. If everybody did one small item, it would make a huge change.
Absolutely. And what I think people don't realize, it doesn't have to be this grand gesture change.
No.
You start small and you work your way up with it. And so one of the great things, again, new content's always coming, new information. So make sure that you do check out those social media pages. I have put those in the chat as well. Make sure you click follow so that you're getting those updates. We've got a lot of great stuff coming. Lastly, I hear you have a special offer that you want to give our audience today for the website.
Yes. So for people listening today, you go to our website and in the discount code at the checkout cart, if you enter Sanctuary, you'll receive a 10% discount on your order.
That's amazing. And that's on everything on the site or just limited product?
It's anything on the site. It's a one-time 10% discount. And it's a limited time offer. So I would suggest you jump on the site now and take a look.
That's amazing. So lastly, before we go, is there any other last minute tips that you want to give our audience and those listeners who may be watching live right now, or even after the fact, on if they're looking into living a little bit more sustainable?
So I would say, as we were talking about, start small. If you just okay, I'm just going to turn the water off while I'm brushing my teeth. And it sounds like that's not going to make much difference. But if everybody did that, can you imagine the amount of gallons of water we would save?
Oh, yeah.
So start small. Start with something you can manage, and then just add on to it next year or the year after, and you just keep building. This year I decided to compost, and so it's just trying to add a little bit. And if we all do that, it'll make a huge difference and we'll have a better world for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can also, one of the things that I've done is as something runs out and I know I need to buy it again, I'm thinking about it and I'm going, well, I don't have to use the product I was using. Is there an alternative that's better for the planet, better for me and my family, right? And if there is, and I have to buy it anyway, right? I'm running out.
Absolutely.
So that's one way to sort of do it in small steps.
Well, and I think the biggest key to it too is it's continuous learning. There's going to be new things that are coming out, new information, new ways to do things. It's not going to be, this is the set in stone way to do it forever until it's over. There's always new learning and innovation that comes with that. Now, if there are brands or companies that are listening in that know that they're fitting those qualities, is that something that you're open to connecting with them on and possibly having them featured in the site as well?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, if they wanted to go onto the site and reach out to us on the contact form, they can absolutely do that. We'd love to learn about new products.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, ladies, for joining me today. It was a pleasure to have both of you here. Again, I have put all of their links in the chat, so make sure you're checking out the website, seeing all of their amazing products. You're getting on that newsletter, so you're getting those tips and resources as well. And you don't want to miss that special offer. Again, they said limited time, 10% off everything on the site. So make sure you check it out. And we'll see you on the next episode of A Moment of Honor. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you again, Lynn and Lori.
Thank you, Jocelyn.